Hello and welcome to Lore of the Cards, the series that looks to find the lore hidden in your Hearthstone deck. We've had some pretty long episodes of late, so let's have some lighter nuggets of lore before launching into our next big one, which I plan to be Fandrel's Staghelm. This episode, we're going to look at a beastly king, a legendary that's been stomping around Hearthstone from the start. Bow your heads, commoners, royalty is present. King Krush. We'll be looking at the small amount of lore surrounding the big beast himself, and the lore behind the type of beast he is. Let's start with King Krush. While the king himself may not have much lore, we can take a look at his race, the Devilsaur. Krush is a rare spawning beast that can be found in the region of Sholzar Basin, indicated as rare by the silver dragon that decorates his portrait. He can either be killed for some rather underwhelming loot, or be tamed by hunters for a pet that's a little different from the norm. The bright green scaled Krush is the only Devilsaur that can be found out in the wild in the continent of Northrend, and like the Devilsaur, the region in which he lives is also an enigma. A warm, humid region filled with life in a continent that was dominated by the Undead scourge. Unique in a continent where much of the land was covered in snow. The tropical jungle is maintained by pylons thought to be put there by the Titans, or perhaps they're Titan forged, who were created by the giants to liberate Azeroth from the old gods in ages past. A high elven scholar named Khazgaroth theorised the basin was possibly used by the Titans for experimentation, and their findings may still be able to be discovered. Devilsaurs, like Krush, are often found in regions that are considered a bit unusual. Ungaro Crater, a lush region of Kalimdor sandwiched in between two deserts. The ecodomes of Netherstorm, ethereal creations that bring life to the chaotic magical lands of Netherstorm in Outland. And the Isle of Giants, an island located to the north of Pandaria that seems bizarrely lost in time. It is thought the Devilsaur once roamed Azeroth in great numbers. While many of them have now died out, they retain their title of being among the largest predators to walk the world, reaching heights of up to 30 feet and weighing up to 16 tons. Note, these figures are taken from the non-canonic Warcraft RPG, so should be taken with a pinch of salt. While their hind legs enable the Devilsaur to launch into an intimidating charge, depicted in King Krush's Hearthstone mechanic, there has been some debate as to what their front arms are used for. Some believe the arms balance the Devilsaur's standing posture and possibly allow them to reach this position after sleeping. Others believe that they may be used to attract a mate. However, it is unanimously agreed that very little is known about Devilsaurs despite their age, and more observation is necessary to understand them. The Devilsaur's skin is unlike any other beast in the world of Warcraft, professional skinners being able to obtain Devilsaur leather from their corpses. This in turn is used to produce the unique Devilsaur leggings, gauntlets, and the epic rarity mace, the Persuader. Due to the saurial eggs on display within the Hall of Explorers in Ironforge, we know that Devilsaur, as well as being physically imposing, are venomous. A rare discovery, these eggs house the Devilsaur embryo, and with it the League of Explorers ecologists come closer to a cure to the beast's debilitating venom. Though from the plaque describing these eggs' discovery, it seems the cure has not yet been found. The following is from the non-canonic Warcraft RPG, so may not be correct. Females tend to be smaller than male Devilsaur. Despite this though, they are far more aggressive. The Devilsaur also reverse conventional gender roles, the responsibility falling to the male to protect his eggs from predators, as the female abandons her clutch after the eggs are laid. A male Devilsaur is able to identify eggs belonging to them through scent, and protects them until they hatch. Despite their ferocity, the Zandalari trolls have been able to prove that Devilsaur can be tamed, and often use them as terrifying beasts of war. They rode them into war as mounts 11,900 years before the Orcs came to Azeroth in an attempt to crush the Pandaren, looking to claim a piece of land they had been promised by Pandaria's previous rulers, the Mogu. The Zandalari also made use of their Devilsaur and other prehistoric creatures when the greatest Mogu emperor, Lei Shen, was resurrected by them during the Mists of Pandaria expansion. The Thunder King gathered Troll and Mogu in an attempt to once again claim Pandaria as his, but was stopped by the Pandaren, aided by the Alliance and Horde. While never central lore characters, there have been a few notable Devilsaur. King Mosh is considered King Krush's counterpart, and in vanilla World of Warcraft was the most powerful rare mob to be found out in the world. Mosh attacked the Tauren Kova Broadhorn, who had been sent on a mission by Elder Crone Magatha Grimtotem to find the reclusive Orc seer Dambila. Upon finding Dambila, Kova and her companion, the gnome warrior Miles Corebender, were attacked by Mosh. Kova fought the beast alone, the gnome having been stunned early in the fight by Mosh. Despite being a capable shaman, it looked as though Kova would be overwhelmed by the Devilsaur. Luckily, Corebender recovered and was able to stun the beast just long enough for the two to escape. King Dread, like Krush, is found in Northrend, but does not roam free, tamed by the Drak'Tharon troll tribe and located in the dungeon Drak'Tharon Keep. The Drak'Tharon were in desperate times, many of their race falling to the Lich King's plague of undeath and being resurrected as his mindless servants. While out hunting, several Drak'Tharon found King Dread in a land saturated with the undead plague. Despite this, the king had not succumbed to the plague. On the contrary, he thrived in this place. The Drak'Tharon captured Dread, convinced that this beast alone held a cure for the undead plague. If the beast did, the trolls would never discover it, as during the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, their fortress of Drak'Tharon Keep was assaulted by the Lich King's undead scourge, and many of them were turned into the faithful servants of the Lich King. It would appear the undead forces decided to keep Dread alive, as he made for a formidable defender within the keep. The two most powerful Devilsaurs so far have been raid encounters during the Mists of Pandaria expansion. Undasta could be found on the Isle of Giants. The Zandalari Beast Ward is a division of the Zandalari army dedicated to training, taming and rearing the army's beasts of war through ancient tribal magics. When the conflict with Lei Shem began, Alliance and Horde scouts did their best to intercept communications between different Zandalari camps. One unfamiliar word made the scouts uneasy: Undasta, always written about with reference to power and conquest. It was also understood the Zandalari Beast Ward were putting the final touches upon this creation, a giant beast empowered by one of the trolls' primal animal gods, Aloha. Undasta was more than capable of creating a pile of corpses from any adventurers foolhardy enough to stand against him. Thok the Bloodthirsty was another Devilsaur native to the Isle of Giants, but had been captured by the Horde. Garrosh Hellscream, war chief of the Horde, was gathering power in a mad bid to claim the entire world of Azeroth as his territory. This impudence saw both the Alliance and much of the Horde stage a coup against Garrosh in the expansion's final raid, the Siege of Orgrimmar. Garrosh captured Thok along with other primal Devilsaur in a hope of being able to tame them and use them as beasts of war against the combined Alliance and Horde forces. Many Orcish Beastmasters tried their best to bend the beast to their will, but were snapped up by Thok's hungering jaws. Yet more were devoured when the Orcs attempted to cage the beast. Despite consuming so many Orcs, the Devilsaur's lust for blood had not been sated, and as adventurers assaulted Orgrimmar, Thok burst from his holdings and attempted to eat them. The Devilsaur bit off more than he could chew, however, and was felled in battle. A tribe of Saurok called the Scumblade tribe dwell on the Isle of Thunder. The Saurok are lizard men that were created by the Mogu. Using the material anima, the Mogu shaped the flesh of several varieties of reptiles within the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. The newly created Saurok were to act as shock troops, increasing the Mogu's already dominant stranglehold upon the continent of Pandaria. Eventually, the Saurok became uncontrollable, the savage race breaking away from the Mogu's control. The Scumblade tribe reject this origin and claim they are evolved from their creator, a godly invisible Devilsaur called Cross. The Sour Priests of the tribe drive their fellows into conflict, promising the strong will be rewarded by Cross in the afterlife with the paradise of an eternal hunt. The weak among the tribe will be forever condemned to become the victims of Cross's hunt. The Devilsaur Kroshik is considered a gift from Cross. The Devilsaur wanders the beaches near the Scumblade's territory and dies. The corpse is then dragged to a sacrificial altar and the Scumblade feed upon it. Several days later, an egg appears and Kroshik is eventually reborn. The cycle of his death and his corpse-feeding Scumblade going on for eternity. The tribe, believing that their consuming of the Devilsaur gives them their great strength. Some Scumblade, such as Toma, do not believe the ravings of the Sour Priests, and believe their people only praise Krush through fear of an imaginary deity. Toma is well acquainted with the Sarok's origin, and believes that their strength does not come from the Devilsaur, but is their own to claim. However, there is some evidence of Krush's existence, as a spirit Devilsaur is able to be summoned by heroes upon the Isle. Its name is the Echo of Krush. The art of the card is produced by Alex Hawley, a prolific artist for Blizzard, my favourite of his most recent images being Gul'dan battling Illidan. Hawley isn't just on Blizzard's payroll, however. He produces art for a host of other notable companies too, such as DC, Marvel and Magic. He's also done several projects for the metal artist Rob Zombie, who I'm pretty fond of. Shirts, album art and even art for a pinball machine. The art of King Krush's card is not actually Krush himself, evidenced by the blue scales rather than Krush's green. Like many of Hearthstone's early cards, the art was taken directly from the World of Warcraft trading card game that preceded it. Krush's art belonged to the quest card, the Fair of Larkori. I personally question why this art was used for this card, as Larkori is not a Devilsaur as shown, but a Ravasaur, fast-growing, larger relatives of the raptor. The beast's name translates to Sharp Claw from the Tauren native tongue. Heroes can be given a quest to slay Larkori by the Tauren Torwa Pathfinder, whose brother Larkori killed after he had unwittingly taken meat from one of the Ravasaur's kills. The Fair of Larkori was the first quest of this small chain, where heroes repeated the actions of Torwa's brother, only knowingly, taking meat from one of the Ravasaur's kills. Seeing that this did not provoke the beast and draw Larkori out, Torwa came up with another plan. When ready to mate, female Ravasaur produce an unsavoury smelling pheromone from a gland located in their heads. The adventurer ripped these glands from a couple of females and mixed their stench with the meat. This drew Larkori out of hiding, and the adventurer was finally able to avenge Torwa's brother. While we're on Devilsaur, let's take a look at the fossilised Devilsaur and Skelosaurus Rex. This card and boss depict the remains of a Devilsaur. Skelosaurus was a display within the Hall of Explorers. In the League of Explorers adventure, the ethereal Arc Thief Rafam infiltrates the Hall and reanimates Skelosaurus to distract heroes while he steals all he can. In WoW, there are no Devilsaur remains on display in the Hall of Explorers, so even the existence of this fossil was added by the Hearthstone team. God, just no respect for the lore, guys. So, there you have it. The lore behind King Krush and the Devilsaur. To be honest, I initially sat down to write an episode on 3 legendary beasts, but as I researched Krush and the Devilsaur, I uncovered more than I suspected. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you're wondering why Warcraft has dinosaurs in the first place, I really recommend checking out Hyru Mared's Why Does WoW Have Dinosaurs video. If you like the art used in the video, I've done my best to link the artist used in the description below. To help ensure this channel doesn't go the way of the Devilsaur and nearly die out, please like, subscribe and share this video around, it's hugely appreciated. Of course, if you're a dick and want us to die, you can dislike and unsubscribe, but that makes you a dick. Don't be a dick. If you want to keep up to date with everything lore of the cards, follow us on Twitter @the6gamers and Facebook /6gamersuk. Until next time, happy Hearthstoning.